Premium of $110. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen, Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back into Centex Prime Time. Happy Monday, everybody, as we're going to get your week started talking about these football games that we got a chance to watch last week. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, here on Centex Primetime, where we bring you the primetime topics in sports from not only around Central Texas, but around the entire nation. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. Make sure you guys jump over to the YouTube, like, share, and leave a comment on the YouTube as well, the Centex Sports Network on YouTube. Also on Facebook, if you want to watch on Facebook, Centex Sports Network, go on there and watch with us. If you want to be able to listen to this content from not only from your car, but from wherever you're at, whether you're at work, in your car, at home, you can go to CentexSports1.com, or you can download the app Centex Sports One on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store as well, whichever is your preference. Folks, we got a lot of football to talk about this weekend, as we saw a lot of great games, not only at the NFL level, but all the way down to the high school level, the collegiate level, and of course in the pros as well. As last Sunday, we got to see a great slate of games, ending in a Sunday night victory for my Houston Texans as they got the dub over the Chicago Bears, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. But we've got to talk about the team that we know everybody was watching yesterday at 12 o'clock. First, want to welcome my guest in here. I got Quay on the show with me today, also joined by Kyrell Gibson as well. We'll have PJ Gaither call in a little bit later as well. Quay, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Ready to talk football? Let's do it.
Hey, I feel you. Kyrell, you on there with us?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
He didn't sound too enthusiastic, bro. Yeah, so we'll start right there, folks. As we know, like I said, a great slate of games on Sunday, and it started everybody's day off. Good for some, bad for some. And if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, did not start off so hot for you yesterday. First off, I want to shout out to the Dallas Cowboys. We are the flagship station for the Dallas Cowboys here in the Central Texas area, right here on 94.5 FM and 94.5 Magic. But yesterday didn't turn out so good for the Dallas Cowboys, as they came up short in this game, 44-19. Not that good of a score. Like I said, it was pretty much a blowout throughout the game. It had some competitive moments, but the New Orleans Saints were in control from the very beginning in this game. 44-19. Like I said, in the first quarter, it was 14-3. Dallas put up a competitive second quarter, but still weren't able to match the points put up by New Orleans and this new look offense and this new look Derek Carr. Now, like I said, 44-19, obviously, like I said last week, and I'm going to put up a compilation of when we all picked the same team. I think we all picked, maybe besides Quay, I think we all picked Dallas to win this game and probably win it pretty handily, and they lost. I think we all picked Buffalo on Thursday, or we all picked Miami on Thursday to win that game, and that game went the complete opposite as well. So I'm going to start picking last from now on whenever we pick these games so I can pick different if we all picking the same team, because obviously we're having some type of jinx going on here. But in this game, 44-19, New Orleans Saints beat the Dallas Cowboys. Derek Carr, 11 for 16, didn't have to do much. Still put up 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 99 passer or QB rating in this game. The real star of the show, Alvin Kamara, 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also matched with 2 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Dak Prescott in this game, not so hot. 293 yards. He's always going to have some yards in there, even in a loss. 293 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, a 52 QBR. Running game wasn't so hot for the Dallas Cowboys as they only had 68 rushing yards as opposed to the Saints with 190 rushing yards. CeeDee Lamb still looked like a guy yesterday, even though he didn't get much action. 4 catches for 90 yards in this game, as he didn't get a chance to make much of an impact on this game, but still made an impact when he could. So my takeaways for this game before I let Quay and Kyrell take off on here, and I know PJ will want to talk about it too once he gets a chance to call in here. First takeaway in this one is Alvin Kamara is somebody that we all kind of wrote off. He was right on that same level with Christian McCaffrey when Alvin Kamara first came into the league, and they had a competent running game and competent play calling in the game as well. He's proven through these first 2 games he can still be that guy, and he still is that guy. Only 29 years old, has a chance to be one of the top running backs in the league. Just the last few years, the offense was so handcuffed, honestly, by the play calling. You put him back in this West Coast system. Clint Kubiak, now the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, looks like he has completely unlocked Alvin Kamara. And he pretty much led this team in this game, not only from a receiving standpoint, but from the rushing standpoint. Like I said, 115 yards, 5 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns to go into this game. I think I seen a stat earlier today that said the Saints ran for 134 yards before contact in yesterday's game. Now, that's just crazy. That's insane. They ran for, as a team, 134 yards before contact yesterday against the Dallas Cowboys. So this was really, really good. Alvin Kamara, I thought the Derek Carr of old would show up in this game. But in this new system, he didn't have to do much. He had 11 completions and still was able to throw for almost 250 in this game with only 11 completions, almost 100 QBR in this game. They found a way to put Taysom Hill in this system. Rashid Shaheed is just a fast guy out there, but he finds a way to take the top off the defense like he did when Derek Carr threw him an absolute bomb. I will give Derek Carr credit for that. That was a bomb over the top in between those 2 safeties when they were in cover 4, I believe. He kind of caught him standing and was able to split the 2 safeties there. But Derek Carr has shown he's still a very serviceable quarterback. Alvin Kamara has still shown that he is one of the better backs in the league when he's given the right system. Now to my take on the Cowboys. Like I said last week, folks, just because you beat up on the Cleveland Browns, everybody seemed to get a little bit too happy. And I can't even get on Kyrell too much because he was on here with Rocky as well. And Rocky told him, man, you a hard guy to please when it's as far as a critic for the Cowboys. But Kyrell was just keeping it real. They didn't do nothing crazy against the Browns. The Browns just kind of shot themselves in the foot with Deshaun Watson repeatedly over and over and over. And that offense didn't look too hot against them. Secondly, Dak Prescott is still Dak Prescott. This is the part that I do have my arguments with Kyrell about him being a top 5 or maybe top 10 somewhere in their quarterback. He when he has a lead, he's the definition of a front runner. If you look up front runner in the dictionary, Dak Prescott's picture is going to be there with a football and some popcorn or something. He is the ultimate front runner. If they have a lead, He's going to try to bury you. They're going to talk noise. He's going to be slinging his arm. He's going to be excited. If he has to match anybody point for point, if his defense can't get it done, Dak is over with. He's done. He can't match anybody point for point. And this is not just about yesterday. This is his career. This is who he is. We have plenty of tape out him at this point. He's been in the league almost a decade. If he has to do some type of come from behind when the offense is still hot, no chance. No chance at all. Secondly, Dallas cannot stop the run. These are some of the things that didn't get addressed in the offseason that, just because they look decent against the Cleveland Browns doesn't mean that something went better today or something went better with the season or with the build of this team. They still can't stop the run. 134 yards before contact is crazy. You cannot give up that type of action. And yes, Alvin Kamara is a dog, but if you play anybody that's using this West Coast system, the 49ers, Matt LaFleur and the Packers, it's going to be the same type of issues. There's still no running game. Thirdly, is my last point. There's still no running game with this team. We knew Zeke's not the guy. Zeke's just there to maybe sell a couple more jerseys. Dowdell, I guess, got the most carries in this one, 7 carries, 30 yards. They gotta find a way to get some type of running game. CD is still that dude. CD's a top 3 receiver in the league, top 5 receiver in the league, wherever you put him at. But he's not enough to get it done. And if you're counting on Dak, which is the problem whenever you give Dak $60 million and you give CD $40 million, and they're going to have to pay Micah and you give Trayvon Diggs money, this is what's going to happen. It's harder to build out this roster when those guys are taking up that much money. Thus, you're going to have to rely on the heavy money guys. If you have to rely on Dak to pull you out of a hole, you're going to stay in that hole. So, Quay, I'll let you go first about your thoughts on the Cowboys, and then we'll round it off with Kyrell and his opinion on this. But, Quay, what did you think about this game yesterday, the Cowboys versus the Saints?
Like you said, let's talk about schemes. The Cowboys have struggled with that scheme, period. It's a Shanahan scheme. It's a lot of different teams that don't have good success against it. And once they get in a gritty, dirty game, old school game, my lineman against your lineman, they tend to lose those games. They kind of want to play air raid games, and they like to play up from the head. If their defense is struggling, like you said, that can't keep up the points. In this game, he needed to be touchdowns. He didn't need any turnovers in those field goals. He kept giving them things that they didn't need. And not saying that the defense is awful. Last week, the Browns didn't do anything well on offense. But like you said, the Cowboys struggle too. So now we come in, your offense is still struggling, but now your defense is struggling. So it was a hard game to watch for the Cowboys because we got to see a new breath of air for their defense last week. We had hope. I had no hope thinking their cornerbacks coming back from injury. Everybody got injured, so your best corner is coming back from the injury. Then one of your other corners, you let go of they let go of Gilmore, and then Bland get hurt. So I was thinking they were going to struggle on the back end. They have a good game week 1, so they gave me a little hope for them. But like we said, when this team comes to town, for some reason, they struggle against it. And when they get out and get punched in the mouth, they somehow don't know how to. It's like getting knocked down in a ring. They kind of don't know how to get back. So they like to do the bullying, and if they can't bully you, they don't know how to fight back. And I watched them struggle against a team that just went to the line and said, "We're lining up against you. We're going to play better than you." It was a different game to watch. But like I said, I just want to hone on the scheme. That scheme, for some reason, they can't stop that Shanahan scheme type scheme. They struggle with it. So it was hard to watch yesterday. But like Jalen said, we got to get back to reality of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They are the Cowboys. They are a week by week team. And for some reason, when we give them their early wins, they start all we them boys. I ain't see that many posts on Facebook yesterday. I didn't see that many posts, but it was a good. Louisiana did a march in the middle of Dallas. That's how they came out with it, and it was good. Like you said, see Alvin Kamara, everybody kind of wrote him off, but it's all about scheming and coaching, and they're letting him be him. They're adding their run game. We seen different Derek Carr. They might be rejuvenated. I was looking up. I'm like, bro, he got a perfect QBR in the third quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm watching. I'm like, okay, Derek Carr is really making the throws he needs to. And Dak was just trying to throw the ball. They could have 4 picks. I'm like, bro, he doesn't mind being the interception leader in the NFL either. But somehow, a lot of teams when they finally play, he literally throws it to the defense and they just drop him. But that I don't know. I don't know. But it was hard to play from behind our game. But he has to convert some of those field goals into points. So it was a tough game for the Cowboys. But it was still cool football. But they got a lot of soul searching to do.
No, definitely, definitely. I agree with what you said, man. That scheme is tough. That's West Coast, and it's not just the Cowboys. It gives a lot of teams troubles, but it seems to really be the thorn in the side of the Cowboys over the last few years, trying to get over that West Coast Shanahan style of scheme. Kyrie, what are your thoughts, man, about this game? We know you watched every snap. What are your thoughts about the Cowboys and the Saints yesterday?
Man, that was pretty laughable, man. Like I'll tell you right now, like, and I didn't watch every snap. I turned that mess off, man. I wasn't gonna do that. One thing, like, you know how Cowboys fans are, man, and I get y'all gripes about Dak, man, but that game wasn't on him. He's not Patrick Mahomes, who by the way threw 2 picks as well.
Yep.
You know, but don't nobody want to talk about
Could have been
that.
3.
Everybody want to talk about how Dak don't get it done and everything. I was like, man, you need a defense sometimes, man. Like that darn Cowboys offense, man. They only needed 46 points, like, oh my goodness. But yeah, man, this is a classic. Let me just start off by this, man. I don't really care about this loss. I'm not gonna come up here and say the Saints are the best team in the NFC either. I think this is just a case of bad preparation, man. Bad preparation. Them Saints went on a 6-game winning streak last year, right? It was, everybody want to talk about how this is the hottest team or historic. Man, I don't want to hear that, man. Them 6 wins, who they came against? The NFC South and the New York Giants. Nobody saw this coming. If y'all saw this coming, you want to say we doubted the Saints, man, y'all could sue me that I didn't believe in Derek Carr and y'all's 6-game winning streak against the NFC South and the New York Giants. Y'all still lost to the Lions, and y'all still lost to some other team in between that little run. So sue me if you want to get on me about thinking that the Cowboys is going to win this game, man. Sue me if you want to think that I'm doubting of Alvin Kamara. He's been on my fantasy team the last 3 seasons. All right, he was done. He was cooked. This dude we saw right here, I want him drug tested immediately. Immediately. But nah, man, the main takeaway is, for me, I was listening to the pregame. Mike McCarthy said we had a solid week of practice. Now, if I hear a dude say we had a solid week of practice, I already do, because my ears perked up. I was like, oh, yeah, we better lose, man. This dude talking about some solid. Okay. And then 2, not Gary Kubiak, but
Clint
Jr. Yeah, Clint Kubiak. 2, with him, this is a team that kind of figured it out last season under a different offense, right? You got a brand new offensive coordinator, a scheme that you have not, well, I ain't gonna say you haven't seen, but you're not expecting. You got 1 week of film on against a horrible team in Carolina, right?
Yep.
So I'm thinking, all right, because I'm looking at these defenders, man. I'm like, okay, there's no way that they get, like, these dudes are 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, getting pushed by the New Orleans offensive line. Now, that tells me, in a way, just the way it looked, it tells me y'all were not prepared to face this type of scheme, this zone blocking scheme. They just weren't. The Saints' offensive line is good. That's the only thing I'm taking away from this game. I don't want to hear nothing about Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara is probably the most balanced back we've ever seen. But he is who he is. I'm glad Alvin Kamara bounced back. But I'm not buying this Derek Carr stuff. I don't think he's a new man. I think this is a case of the ghost of Shanahan. And it's literally looked like the exact same game week 4 last year when we played San Francisco. This isn't McVay. This is the passing game coordinator from San Francisco last year. The passing game coordinator is pretty much the OC. So this is just all back, like, just repeat, wash, rinse, and repeat. And I don't think they were expecting to see this. And they've definitely underestimated that Saints O-line. Everybody talking about Dak this and Dak that. Dude, they were in prevent defense in the middle of the second quarter. What are you gonna do?
And still got hit over the
That
head.
game was terrible.
And the run game is non-existent. Every running back on our roster is terrible. They trying to do this Deuce Vaughn experiment, getting him carries. Zeke wasn't out there for the first 2 series, and I'm not saying Zeke's the answer, but I'm just saying we know Deuce Vaughn not, and y'all giving him carries up the middle at that. Y'all not even trying to get him on the outside. This coaching staff got their butts handed to him, and was laughing the whole time. I was like, man, come on, dude. I'm not even upset. I'm not upset with Dak. The only thing that I'm leaving and I'm taking from this game is that you need Jerry, Steven, Will McClay, Coach McCarthy. Y'all need to go get y'all a second receiver. Personnel on defense, I'm not really worried about. You got young players out there. I wasn't buying the defensive performance in week 1. I wasn't buying the performance on offense, even though there wasn't much of one. But y'all gonna need a second receiver. Dak is not gonna save y'all with CeeDee Lamb. And y'all need to get on me about Brandon Cooks too, because he's regressed. He looks.
We tried to tell you.
3 or 4 years.
Please,
and then
I was just saying.
The third receiver, Jalen Tolbert made a play. But Jalen Brooks, dude, fell. He looked like and then they cut to him on the sideline. He like a deer in headlights. I have never seen that actually mad. You know what I'm saying? Like cursing and not wanting to cheer somebody up. Dude, he finna get cut. I'm telling you right now, he's finna get cut. And they finna move up Dalvin Cook. But lo and behold, man, everybody calm down. The Saints, I don't think the Saints are better than the Niners or anything like that. They had a good game. The scheme is, I think this is more about the Cowboys and the ghost that Shanahan did, how good the Saints are. They was flying around. Their O-line is going to be top, though.
Yeah, their O-line is good. Hold on, I'll come back. I'll come back to you, Quay. Hold on. We got. I'm gonna bring in one of the callers we got here on the show with us today, man. One of the members of the ownership group here at 94.5 Magic, and a very, very avid Cowboys fan. I got Graham on here with me. Graham, what's going on?
Hey, Jalen, what's happening, man? I appreciate you taking time. Let me come on, man.
Yeah, man. Come on here and talk about your boys.
Well, it wasn't just to talk about. It was actually I was a witness. You ever go to church and the pastor said, "Can I get a witness?" And what he means by that is he wants somebody that's been through the situation he's talking about. And I've been through the situation. I was able to check it out live yesterday at the stadium. And all I got to say is New Orleans, they left gumbo juice all over Dallas. Literal, actual root gumbo juice. It was a massacre from beginning to end. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys prepared for the New Orleans Saints. I think they prepared for a football game, which made them ill-prepared for the Saints. A lot of finger pointing, a lot of it was their fault, it was this fault. But one person I really can't blame. I don't blame the offense. I can't. Saints scored on their first 6 possessions. That is not an offensive problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Dak did have a couple picks. One of them, maybe was his fault, maybe wrong route. The second one was definitely his fault. But I look at the defense. The defense, I think they're with the new personnel, new coaching and positions and things of that nature, they're still trying to find their identity. And they just really underestimated the Saints. They played the Saints played a weak Carolina team the first week. I mean, so weak that Carolina had to. They benched their quarterback in week 2. If that don't tell you how weak a team is,
super weak.
I don't know what to tell you. But they benched their quarterback in week 2. So Dallas just figured they'd come out and they were at home, 11-game home winning streak, and they thought that would carry them, man. And the Saints just beat them up. Kamara is looking for a new contract, and if he plays anything like that for the rest of the season, he'll definitely be the highest-paid running back in the NFL. And the problem I have is David Carr. Where did this guy come from? I mean, where did he come from? I mean, he out there like he Brady or somebody, just playing pitch and catch.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to speak about the Dallas Cowboy offense, not to bounce around too much,
Are you good?
I think they're still trying to find their identity as well. After CeeDee Lamb, who do you have? Who do you go to? Who's your guy? Zeke is trying to get back in the fold. He showed some signs of old Zeke, but did we really run the ball as much as we should have? The only good thing about the offense is, they're averaging 26 points a game with the first two games, and that's something that you can build on. But I think if they can find some identity with the running game, will they bring Dalvin Cook off the practice squad before week 5 and to see what he has? This Deuce kid going to run? Is Zeke going to run? Do we have some sustainability in the running game? And do we have anybody else that's going to help CeeDee Lamb? One of the things the Cowboys is notorious from, dating back to the days of Jay Novacek, we've always had a great tight end. Got rid of that. Who's the tight end now? So those are some answers that you have to fill, some voids that you have to combat on offense is the running back, the tight end, the second receiver. How are we going to answer those questions, man? And then that defense, Michael Parsons and the crew. Name a Dallas linebacker right now. We have Van Der Esch and the rest of you got. Name one. I mean, who's our secondary?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a sweep in the end zone, and the ball came right there. I wanted to just go out there and just
I want to get on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally that close. I mean, the Fox camera guy was like right there, and I could literally reach my hand out and touch him, and I seen it, and I was like, this. Two things. I had never been that close in an NFL game. That was my first time yesterday. And two, why the hell did I have to sit at this one this close?
Yeah. Out of all the games, this the one that you had to go to.
Right. So it was a massacre. It was a bloodbath. Takeaways from the game. I hope they watch some film.
Sure.
We got a Baltimore team coming in next week. They're 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the road. You don't let them get their first win in your house. Lamar Jackson right now, they're struggling as well. They're 0-2. They lost the last-second game to the Raiders on yesterday. So, then they got to go back on the road. That's going to be a difficult challenge. We have to prepare, and a lot of coaches and players will tell you it's going to take about 5 weeks to really find out who these other teams are, because right now they're throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. And obviously, the Saints, they found something that sticks. With the motion plays that they had, I think they averaged 9.6 yards on all their motion plays yesterday. They ran 76 of those things, motion plays, and Dallas just had no answer, man. So,
for sure.
We're in more trouble than Bubba.
No, before I let you go, I wanted to ask, are these the problems you brought up are all valid, and are these fixable things with the personnel that they have right now, or do they need to go and get some guys maybe in the free agency, go and get some guys maybe in a trade to be able to bolster up, like you said, some of those defensive problems and some of those problems they're having on offense as well?
Well, I don't think, you don't throw the panic card in on week 2, okay? Yeah. I do believe that they have the personnel in-house to do it, but it's how do you get the guys to do it? I forgot who you had on the line with us right before I came on, but he brought up a very good point, and this is one of the things that a lot of people are missing. As fans of the game, we really don't look at coaching until one of the teams make it to the playoffs and they get the national notoriety in the televised primetime games. Mm-hmm. But he brought up a good point. Do you think it's a coincidence that the 49ers had some struggles yesterday on offense, and you can cry about Christian McCaffrey not being available, things of that nature, but their coordinator guy goes to the Saints, and week 1 and 2, they look great.
Yep.
So, you can argue that, but I think we have the personnel, but do we have somebody that can get them to play at the level that they need to play at? That's my concern as far as going out and getting some people. I believe the coaching staff right now, do the players have faith in them? Did they put it – when you get embarrassed like that at home and you've been practicing all week and you have your scheme together and you come in and you're doing everything the coaches are telling you to do, and it's like, hey, it ain't working.
Yeah.
It's not working. What do you want us to do? So I think some trust got to be built back up over the next week or two with the coaching staff and the personnel, or either that, you know what Jerry would do. Jerry say, "What have you done for me lately?" and you be gone.
Yeah, and that's going to be the most interesting point is how hot is that seat of Mike McCarthy if some of these issues continue to go. But like you said, it's week 2. You don't hit the panic button this early, so you just got to regroup. Got a hungry Baltimore team coming in there next week, so it's going to be interesting. So, Graham, appreciate you calling in, man, and we'll be checking in some more as we get throughout this season to check on these boys, how they've been doing, and how they'll be looking over the next few weeks.
Hey, I appreciate you taking my call, and just remember, Mike McCarthy, this is last year of his contract, too.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. Y'all have a great rest of the show.
All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll be listening and watching.
All right, thank you. So that was Mr. Graham Edwards, one of, like I said, the ownership members here on 94.5 and with 254 Podcast Studios here. So, Corey and Kyrell, any last thoughts about this Cowboys thing, man? Corey, you were about to go before I stopped you to let the caller in. I'll let you go ahead and get off some thoughts about what we were just talking about.
Well, listen, first of all, that's Kyrell. I had to go and say something because he said at the beginning of the season that they didn't need to go get another receiver because they got Brandon Cooks. He's coming off a 1,000-yard season. Bro, he's coming off of a lot of free games or, we call them low-calorie DAC yards, but,
Yep.
He's coming off of a game where, you get a lot of free yards, but he's not a true number one receiver. He's coming out. He's a slot guy. He can't really put up the numbers when CeeDee Lamb, they just boxed him in yesterday. And then you're not going to win. I was watching Shannon and Stephen, they do their thing, and he brought up a good point there. You're going to lose when out of 7 drives, 6 of them go for 69 yards in a row. So, that's all I have to say. But, I had to tell Kyrell, he brought up that Brandon Cook. Man, we don't need to go get nobody. We got Brandon Cook. No, you don't. You need a lot of people.
Yeah,
and last year, we got Gallup. No, you don't. You have nobody. You have to have somebody that comes up and gives you that consistent, and you don't have it.
No, that's facts. We did say something about Brandon Cooks. And Kyrell, I wanted to ask you, because you said, to your point, like you said, the Saints, they scored on their first 6 drives, man. I mean, it's not much anybody can do with that. But you don't think that it's a problem that whenever they get into these games, Dak never has an answer? It's not like they lose the games like, 45-40. When they get in these games, it's like 40 to, I think the last two home games for the Cowboys, they've given up 92 points. So I mean that's kind of a problem whenever you see that, and it's not the giving up 92 points because Dak can't help anything with that. But you got to be able to respond and do something in those moments, and Dak for some reason doesn't seem to come up big in those moments. Now it's not just his fault. Zach Martin is getting older. We got to go ahead and admit that Zach Martin is out here and he's getting older. So we got to see what he's going to do out there. And then their line at points yesterday didn't look so hot when it comes to blocking for Dak and giving him time to be able to do something. I got PJ just jumping on here with me, and I wanted to get his thoughts about this game before we go to break and move on to some of the other topics. PJ, you know what's going on. You know the score, 44-19 in the game against the Saints. We got everybody's opinion on this, man. What do you think happened in this game, and then what do you think about the outcome of this game with the Cowboys and Saints?
They pretty much outplayed us, outcoached us, out-schemed us, really. I mean, in everything. So, I mean, the score is reflective of what they pretty much did. I mean, all across the board. I mean, I'm a Saints fan as well. That's my secondary team for me. But the way that the Cowboys lost the game is still unacceptable. I mean, it just really didn't look. It didn't look like, to me, people were even really just putting in effort. You know what I mean? I'm honestly not as mad right now just because this is who we are. This is who we are as a team. Like coming into the season, like I already knew not to pretty much expect too much from this team. I mean, because when you don't make any type of pickups during the off season, that's going to help you be a better team, then this is what's going to happen. Those other teams have gotten better. What have we done to get better? It don't really seem that we've done too much to get better when other teams have. The Saints was just terrible last year.
Horrible.
They were terrible. And now look at them. In the first 2 weeks, they're averaging the most points as an offense
in the league.
And yeah, you can say, well, it's still early in the season. You never know, but it's just that we can't speak on ifs about later on in the season. We can speak on what's going on right now. And right now, that team is looking really good. Probably looking like one of the best teams in the league, to be honest.
For sure.
So what are we going to do? It's really too late for us to do anything unless you're going to make – and because there's really nothing that you can do. I mean, when you lose like this, there's really nothing that you can do. I don't see you being like, oh, well, we need to bring this person in that can help us. What you gonna do? You gonna fire your defensive coordinator? Where you gonna find another one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and there's different type of fans, in our fan base, and they can say a whole bunch of stuff like, oh, well, fire this person, or we need to trade for this person and everything. It's already too late for all that. You need to ride with this team for this season. This the team. This is how they're gonna be. This is how it's gonna be. We're gonna struggle against teams that are 500, over 500, and then we're gonna be able to whoop on teams that might be hovering right around 500 or below, like the last 2 years.
Yeah. No, that's...
So it's really nothing to be, surprised about. It's really nothing to get on here and scream about, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be frustrated about, because this is who we are.
I agree. This is the same old, like I was saying before. The script looks the same. They beat up on somebody week one that looks like an inadequate team, and then they get stomped out by somebody else. Kyrie, I'll come back to you about the point I was making about Dak, and because or what my issues with Dak are is it seems like he's never able to compete in those games whenever another offense is coming out like, yeah, we're firing today and we're going to get it going. Dak always seems to tuck his tail in that game or finds a way to get multiple turnovers. Like he had 2 yesterday, could have had 3 or 4 turnovers easily yesterday. But I'll let you go ahead and respond to that. I know you were finna respond before the mic cut out on that point.
Yeah, I'll give you half a point for that, man. Because the playoffs, right? No, actually, I'll give you no points, bro. Because he's had plenty of moments where he's going bar for bar with another quarterback or another offense. Well, we fresh off of the San Francisco losses in the playoffs, but even just the first one, we were in that first game, but the regular season one, right? Mm-hmm. That was bad. Playoffs last year, that was bad. But outside of that, we've really kind of gone blow for blow outside of the Buffalo and Green Bay and San Francisco last year. We going blow for blow when we get down or we're in a shootout. Now, fighting from behind is a different story, because it seems like when we start fighting from behind, we ain't never getting that help from the defense. It's like the whole team quits, culture problem. But the Lions last year, Seattle, Miami, those are all kind of offensive games that, Dak kind of kept us in when we couldn't stop anybody. We got defense ended up making plays instead of stopping real drives. But Dak can hang, man. He's not Mahomes. He's not he's just not Mahomes, man. And then that's the problem with the league right now. Like, that's why CJ Stroud might be the second best quarterback, honestly.
Hey.
Because these dudes, after Lamar, I got problems with everybody. Josh Allen hurdles somebody and, we fall in love again. But then I promise you, it's going to come. Them picks and turnovers are going to come back. And we're going to remind you, Joe Burrow, rich kid.
I got
Got
problems
all
with
the
him and
players.
Lamar too. I used to keep
And then
Lamar in that,
Lamar.
but I got problems with Lamar too. So I
Yeah,
give you
so
that. I give you that.
it's Mahomes and then everybody else, man. Stroud is definitely looking better than all those dudes, even to me. I'm not. I don't want to hear nothing about Burrow's Super Bowl or Allen's playoff wins or Lamar's MVPs. Stroud looks the best and has for the past 2 years. I know Lamar won the MVP last year, but I think they should have gave it to the Ravens defense. Honestly, I'm CJ, man. Like, and then after that, this is why I can't do the Dak slander. Who you gonna get? I promise you, these other guys, they not doing nothing in that game outside of Mahomes. Maybe Stroud, because he's not missing CD in the end zone. But I've seen all these dudes that people try to put ahead of Dak outside of Stroud and Patrick make these same mistakes, not be able to really do anything when they're getting blasted on, man. That's bad. I'm talking about like this is just ineptitude at every level of a franchise, man. Like the team looked like they prepared for the 2023 Saints and not what they put on film in week 1. And that's inexcusable.
No, that's facts. And I gotta take points off myself for that because I thought it was just, like he said, bad Panthers, like Graham was just saying when he was on here, and we'll get to the Panthers in a second, or a little bit in the second hour. But I thought it was just really, really bad Panthers, and the Saints just, got a chance to beat up on a bad team. But with this Kubiak system in place, and his pops, Gary Kubiak, was the coach of the Texans when we had Matt Schaub, who probably should have never started in the NFL. He was a Pro Bowler for multiple years in this same system when we had him and Arian Foster and Andre Johnson. So this system is fierce. To your credit, like you said, Kyrell, he was just with the 49ers last year and had Purdy looking like a dude, and Purdy is looking okay so far here. I mean, it's only week 2, and we'll talk about the 49ers, but he's looked okay so far to start this year off. Maybe it's something to this Clint Kubiak dude. Maybe he's going to end up being the head coach for the Saints because I'm not going to go as far as you did, Kyrell, to say that Alvin Kamara was washed or he was done. I think the system they were in was handcuffing him, and he's been one of these dudes. He's been a Christian McCaffrey type of, what we just seen him do yesterday. He's been like that for years, but that offense was just so abysmal. Didn't matter who they had in there. They tried it with Taysom Hill. They tried it with Jameis Winston. They tried it with multiple guys in there, and it didn't work. And now I think they tried it with Dalton too. And Carr last year. Carr was terrible last year, but now in this system, when you're going to throw the ball 20 times. It's not going to be a 40 times throwing the ball. You're going to throw it 40 times. We're going to get behind these linemen. Like you said, this offensive line is good with Ramsack out there on the tackles. This offensive line is good, and I think the Saints, honestly, we might have to start taking a look at them just because of how their offense is playing. The defense has been solid for years, but because of now how their offense is playing, we might got to take a look at this Saints team.
One more thing, Jalen.
Go ahead.
The Cowboys beat up on the bad teams and lose to the good teams. For the last 2 years, what have we been? We pretty much just been a litmus test, man. Either if you can't beat us, you're horrible. If you beat us, you're usually good.
That's
and
facts.
2, I listened to Stephen Jones on the phone today, man. We finna go get that dude.
Who was that?
He
Clint
was the head
Kubiak?
coach of the Cowboys last year. I listened to Steven on the phone this morning, man. We're finna go get that dude. If it's not him, it's gonna be another Shanahan guy.
Bobby
They tired of
Slowick.
hearing Shanahan names.
Yeah, they throw Bobby Slowick in there from the Texans too. He got a few offers last year, and his first year he came from the 49ers as well, of course. Just hire this is like the new Patriot system. Just hire anybody that looks at the 49ers too long. If they got a shirt on too long on their coach, you finna get a head coaching job. But put Bobby Slowick in there too, and as one of those hot commodity offensive coordinators that's finna be right up there in the talks for coaching next year. So that was the game. One of the games yesterday that obviously had everybody watching. Another game that had everybody watching, and Kyrell kind of just alluded to them a second ago. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll go on this one kind of quick so we can get to break after this. But Kansas City and Cincinnati yesterday, back and forth game. Cincinnati had control in it early. They were up 16-10 in the first half, and Kansas City comes out and does Kansas City things, which includes Mahomes making throws when he needs. But what mainly includes, from my perspective at least, the refs are going to throw them flags. If it gets down to the fourth quarter and Patrick Mahomes got that ball, I mean, if you don't get a clear-cut sack where you just push him to the ground softly, anything outside of that, it's going to be a penalty. We saw it yesterday. Bengals had him down to fourth down with the lead, up by 2 points. Fourth and 16, I think. They end up throwing the flag on pass interference. You can't look at them too rough on fourth down if you're playing against the Chiefs, and it proved to be true once again. We saw it in the Super Bowl last year. I know we big up Mahomes. Yes, he is the best player in the league, all that, yada, yada, yada. But the refs helped him a lot last year in the Super Bowl when they played the 49ers. So this Kansas City team, you got to beat Mahomes, you got to beat Reed, and you got to beat them pinstripe boys out there on the field too whenever you play them. So Kansas City comes up with a close win against Cincinnati, 26-25. A lot to be left desired about the Bengals, even though the offense looked good in that first half, tailed off in that second half. We've seen Jamar Chase blowing up on the sideline because he wanted a call. He ended up costing them 15 yards on a huge scenario. Him and Joe Burrow get into it. Joe Burrow kind of pushes him and you got to chill out, bro. So I think there's something to that. There's more to that than them losing this game. I think there's more to the Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase fallout, and we know who they picking if they got to pick between the two. They picking Slim Shady if they got to pick between Burrow and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase might be on another team coming up in one of these next few years. If he doesn't stop, it kind of seems like a self-implosion almost, kind of what we've seen with some other great receivers in the past, T.O., other guys like that, Brandon Marshall, that kind of blow up right when it's about time to get paid. So hopefully that's not the case for Jamar Chase, but it's tough after seeing that yesterday and all that's what's been going on over the offseason and stuff. So want to get y'all thoughts on this one before we go to break, the Chiefs versus the Bengals. And PJ, I'll start with you on this one. What did you think about the Chiefs and the Bengals game yesterday?
I mean, it's pretty much like the playoff games. And anytime these two teams face each other, it's always going to be really close. It's always going to be something that's going to happen in the game that everybody either don't agree with or they do. The Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, they pretty much look like what we expected them to look like. With the Bengals, I don't know, man. It's like I feel like they left a lot on the field yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a lot left on the field that I'm sure that they're wishing that they could have, either, they can get back right now. But really just towards Jamar Chase, you can't hold out. You can't hold out and then don't show up once you get on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. What was that, last week or 2 weeks ago when I got on here and I said, all you got to do is just play football. That's all you got to do. Just get on the field and play football, focus on football. That's all you got to do to earn your money. I believe that was last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
You're not playing ball. You're not playing ball the way that's going to get you paid.
Mm-mm.
You playing ball the way that's going to get you off the team, that's going to get you signed to another team. So he really needs to go back to the drawing board. I don't necessarily know what he needs to do. He needs to go back to the drawing board because you held out. And if I'm not mistaken, bro only had like 30-some receiving yards.
Yeah, 4 catches, 35 yards.
5 yards. Like, that's just unacceptable, bro. You're not playing ball. You're not playing ball that's going to get you paid the money that Justin Jefferson or C.D. Lamb got paid, or, Devontae Adams. All these guys, they got these big paydays. You're not going to earn that money. You're not going to earn the money that's higher than theirs. Yeah, you might still get paid around close to what they got paid, but it's not going to be what you want. And you want to be the highest paid receiver in the league.
Yep.
Possibly ever.
Yeah, ever.
So earn your paycheck, man. Like, you held them out, and you come into the game and you don't show up for real. You are best receiver on the team. So it's something with him that he has to figure out. As far as with the Bengals, this is not a game that you really just hold your head down on. You can build a lot from this game. Y'all played them pretty close. Y'all just got to stop shooting yourselves in the foot. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's facts.
And then, like you said,
go ahead.
You're playing multiple you're playing against multiple people when you play against Kansas City, so you don't have time for mistakes.
No.
You ain't got time for mistakes. So that's really what it is for them. They can build a lot from this game. It's only week 2.
Yeah, and that's the best part about it is it's only week 2, so you still got plenty of time to come together and try to get this team together, especially with the way that the AFC North is looking right now, just pretty much upside down to what we thought it would look like. Coy, what'd you think about this game yesterday? Kansas City and Cincinnati. Kansas City getting the slim win.
I think we watched the Bengals play up, but we're going to watch the unraveling of their franchise. I don't think they're good. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to play any better this year. Their offensive line is shaky once again, but I do think they played rivalry per se, so they played up. But I'm not impressed by the Bengals. I don't like that run game. Their defense is shaky. They play fast. And can we really acknowledge that this year is not about names in the NFL? We're watching a lot of young guys step in and play. We're watching defenses that people are not predicting to be good, get back to team football. We may not be the best, like most talented, but we run to the ball. We're fast.
Yep.
And you can tell coaching and culture is coming in back into the NFL, getting back to hard nose. They're not minding getting a little penalty. Like we're watching old school football try to come back in, more physical defenses, more blitzing. I just think it's something has to be said. Like we're so caught up in names, Aaron Donald, all these big names, but we're watching some of these young guys come in and make instant impact just flying to the ball. So, but I wasn't impressed by the Bengals again. I don't. I think the Chiefs did exactly what they were going to do. They do just like the Brady effect. If you get the last drive, you know what's going on. I do think that pass was pass interference. So
Yeah.
I think they won the game in their fashion. But I don't believe in the Bengals at all. I do think we're going to see Jamar Chase somewhere else. You're not supposed to see a star receiver and a star quarterback ever getting into anything like this. So I think the Bengals are going to unravel. And they've been talented for a minute. Like they've been having one of the best receiving cores. They try to put it together in the season. They never come prepared for the season. I don't like that about the Bengals.
No, that's facts. It seems like they never come into the season ready to play. And I don't know what that's about. I think it's more of Joe Burrow is hurt every single offseason. Some kind of way he's coming into the season with an injury. And just like this season, he's coming into the season with an injury. And they never seem to be on the same page in the first couple of weeks. And I like your point that you made about the coaching. I think coaching is making not more of an impact in the league because it's always made a huge impact, but around the league, I think it's making more of an impact. We started to think it was more of a player-driven thing for the last few years, when Sean McVay got that hire and they went straight to the Super Bowl and he was young. I think they wanted to see a lot of young coaches come into the league and try a thing, but schemes and systems are playing a huge factor in these games here in week 1 and week 2 so far. Kyra, what are your thoughts about the Chiefs and the Bengals game yesterday?
Man, that's kind of a game that I think the Cincinnati's a worse team than the Chiefs, but it's kind of like New Orleans and Dallas, except their rivalry comes from playoff history.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a rivalry in my book, especially with the trash talk. So they played up. Like teams when they play that division, they'll get like a dirty game against their division rival once a year.
Yeah.
It's like like the Redskins will play the Cowboys after we don't win 13 games. And they don't want 3 yet win. So this is just like, I'm not saying Cincinnati is the Redskins, but this is just
they
what
might
that
be.
felt like. But I just want to come out, man, and put it out there, man. Hey, Taylor Britt or Cameron Britt, whatever his name is, my bad.
Yeah, hey, that catch
stuff.
was crazy.
You talk your stuff, and boy, that's the interception of the league this year.
Yeah.
I don't care what that was. Hey,
definitely.
That's making a play for real. So I gotta apologize for the disrespect, man, because I was definitely unfamiliar. But hey, you sue me. Like, I'm sorry, man.
Make sure that you excommunicate yourself from this show when you say sue me. Because any letters getting sent here is going to be getting sent straight to you.
Hey, man. Yeah, get to Williams Group LLC. You sue that you can't. Don't holler at Jalen, man. But yeah, I was the one talking stuff. But I was impressed with him, making a play. But Mahomes, man, he's like every time he gets in a bind, we don't never have this talk because his defense has, these last 2 years especially, has come to save him.
Yep.
And the rest, they put on their uniforms yesterday too. They red and yellow uniforms yesterday too. So it's just like, man, I gotta sit up here and listen to these Cowboy fans talk about Dak, and I'm just like, did y'all even watch Patrick yesterday?
No.
I know he has the record, bro, but this is football. Like, this is what can happen.
30 QBR.
Right. Like, you gotta have the right situation. Like, people have to help you out. And we out here come the Shador post, and I'm like, dude, first of all.
Nah, you talk bad about Shador last week, though.
And I don't care. And that's still all valid. Quinn Ewers is better than that dude.
Come on, stop. We'll talk about that in the second hour. Keep going with this point. Just stop that. Come on.
Arch Manning might be
Arch Manning. Oh, I listen to Arch Manning before I listen to Quinn. Quinn is still Quinn, like I tried to tell y'all last week. You throwing a duck against UTSA. Keep going, man.
Nah, that's it though, man. Like, this is still my pick for the best team in the league. They ran into a team that hates them. So that's why that game looked ugly, because Cincinnati was they emotional over there, man. It's a lot going on. You saw them sidelines?
Yeah.
They emotional over there. They fighting. And it's about to be over with. You know how people get when they losing? They losing the whole battle. Not even on the field. I'm talking about they losing the franchise. Like, they finna quit and start over. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
No, I agree. And I think it's bigger problems in Cincinnati, like you were just saying. I think this is the end, and I said this at the beginning of the season. I think this is the end of this Cincinnati run that we're seeing. This team is going to be different. I think T. Higgins is going to go somewhere else and go get paid. I think they're going to end up trading Jamar Chase. They're going to keep Slim Shady at quarterback, but he's going to have to show, can he be a dude without being surrounded by dudes at receiver and at tight end and at running back? Like Quay said, the running game is ugly. It's super ugly. I don't know what made them think, yeah, let's just go get Zach Moss and throw him out there. He'll be just like Mixon. It's not working. The pushing and the shoving between your two star players on offense is not good. Cincinnati's defense is decent, like we said, or like we knew it would be. They played decent and they played up to competition. The Cameron Taylor-Britt dude, like you said, definitely got to shout out him. The play of the year, maybe, at least on the defensive side of the ball with that catch, was ridiculous. But I thought it was going to be different because the drive right before that, he got burnt by Rashee Rice. And Rashee Rice, I don't even know if he probably run a 4.9, and he got burnt by him. So I thought that was going to be bad. But he redeemed himself against Worthy. He was locked in when he seen Worthy out there. So we'll see how the Cincinnati team does and the Chiefs team does. Will the Chiefs continue to win and be, like Kyrell said, just picked to win the Super Bowl, first team with a chance to three-peat. So we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on him week to week. Want to thank everybody for watching with us. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to come back here in hour number 2. We're going to stay right here in the NFL, talk some more NFL, and we will address the nonsense of Kyrell talking about Quinn Ewers being better than Shador. We'll talk about that a little bit in hour number 2. Stay tuned right here on Centex Primetime, right here on Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
It's the family feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler. For me, it's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's a sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk, and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need Southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie. 719 South 11th Street. Sassy's, come on by.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
The East Waco Empowerment Project, along with City Center Waco, is hosting WeBo, Workshop and Business Opportunity, to help create more entrepreneurs. Business owners like Aniceto Charles.
Agreement required for free installation.
Businesses right in the heart of East Waco. WeBo can also help you turn your side hustle or business idea into the next thriving Black-owned business in our community. If you would like to attend this 10-week intense entrepreneurial workshop, go to WeBoWaco.org. That's WIBO Waco.org. Space.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Welcome back in hour number 2 here on Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis. As we go through some of these primetime topics in sports, everybody, want to thank everybody for watching with us today, whether that is on Centex Sports Network or on the Centex Sports One app or CentexSports1.com. If you want to jump in and join the chat with us, make sure you guys tune in on YouTube, Centex Sports TV on YouTube if you want to tune in to that. And if you want to drop some comments, we had some comments going on in the first half of our show as we were talking about the Cowboys. We got some Ravens fans in the chat, y'all. They said Cowboys defense better bring it Sunday for King Henry, and the Baltimore Ravens are coming to town, and that game will be next week, next Sunday. As it looks like the schedule is kind of crazy, really, for the Cowboys to start there. They got the off week against the Browns, but you get a good Saints team coming in, and then you get a hungry Ravens team coming in right after that are looking to get their first win of the season. And like Graham said earlier in the first hour, you don't want to let the team get their first win of the season on your home field. The last 2 home games, Cowboys have put their fans through enough. 92 points given up in the last 2 home games for the Dallas Cowboys. So we got a chance to talk about them in the first hour. We talked a little bit about the Kansas City Chiefs in the first hour. We're going to do a couple quick takes as we go here in hour number 2. Everyone saw what happened with the Panthers, not only in week 1, but also in week 2. They come out, I was looking for them to make some type of adjustments. I know they're going to be bad. Their roster's bad. I was looking for some type of adjustment in this game, and they come out and get beat 26-3 by Chargers offense that doesn't have much. Let's just keep it a buck. They don't have much at all on this offense. Yeah, they got Justin Herbert, but it stops there. J.K. Dobbins is a good back, and he had another 100-plus yard game, so definite shout-out to him. But the receiver room, they traded every single person in their receiver room just about. So not much to write home about with this Chargers offense, and they get blown out once again. Bryce Young for the Panthers looked terrible. 18 for 26, 84 yards, a pick, no touchdowns. QBR, 6.4. Chuba Hubbard's the leading rusher with 64 yards, only 10 carries. Why does he have just 10 carries if he has 64 yards in the 10 carries? Top receiver for the Panthers, Tommy Tremble, the tight end. I remember him coming out of college a few years ago. 3 catches for 23 yards is their top one. Bryce Young, 84 yards. So the Panthers, after looking just like I don't even know, like a JV squad for the last couple of weeks, they decided that the answer to their problems is to bench Bryce Young after his second game in this season, only his 18th game or I don't even know if he's been that many because he got hurt a few games last year. Maybe like 16 games into his career, they figured the answer would be to bench Bryce Young. Now, their owner, Tepper, I believe is his name. I think he's probably the worst owner in the NFL since he's taken over the Panthers. They've been as bad as you can be as an organization. They had the number one, or they traded up to get this number one pick in Bryce Young, traded away all their picks, end up earning the number one pick the next year when they could have got Caleb Williams, but they traded it to the Bears for last year's pick, which ended up being Bryce Young. Now you bench Bryce Young as if somehow he's the problem, and he is playing terrible. Let's not get that confused. Bryce Young is playing horrible. But to say that this rookie is the problem and benching him for Andy Dalton is somehow going to do anything besides just completely destroy the already fragile psyche of your young quarterback, I'm not sure what they have going on here at all. So the Panthers decide they're going to bench him for the Red Hornet, I think what they used to call him, out of South Lake Carroll, and Andy Dalton. What do y'all think about this? Kyrell, I'll start with you. Why are they benching Bryce Young?
I think they're done with him, man. Honestly, like, it's going to be historic giving up on a number one pick like that. But this dude was missing screens. Like, hey, man, like, they right there. What you mean you can't hit that pass? And then the pick, it's just like, I know they say he's 5'11" and some change, man, but so is Baker.
Yeah.
What's your problem? You know? So I hate to, because I was a Bryce Young believer. Like, you know, it was supposed to be him and CJ, man. They've been tethered together throughout their whole young career, all the way back to high school. But I think even like, you know, youth football.
Yeah, youth football too, yeah.
So it kind of sucks to see him go to Carolina and things pan out the way they are. But I think they might have broken their quarterback. Bryce Young had his time, but I think he may be broken. I mean, the dude threw a screen pass and like hit the feet of the blocker, bro. And I'm a Bryce believer. I was definitely Carolina this, Carolina that. They definitely ruined that kid because he was a baller.
Yeah.
But he broke. Can't be fixed. I don't think it's no fixing that, man. Usually a quarterback like that, you know, they can turn their legs and kind of solve it like that for the time being. But man, I don't see no confidence. And when he threw the ball with confidence, it was to the other team. And it just sucks to see, man. And I know it's a competitive heart of him, man. Like, I know he's happy for his bro, man, but it's got to sting a little bit that you got the props of being the number one pick over your bro, but it turns out to be this big of a discrepancy in between the two. So, yeah, Carolina needs to take some heat, man, because they ruined that kid. There's no way he balls like that at Alabama, you know, and balls like that throughout every level of football, and then gets to the league, and now he's broken. I'm blaming Carolina, but ain't no fixing that kid, man. We can't throw screens no more. He knows how to do that. That's easy. Like, he can definitely do that, and he can't do that. Y'all broke him. He's broke. Y'all did it. Move on. Trash the season. Let Andy Dalton come out there and do whatever he got to do so he can get his little dealership, and then let's go on about our business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on blaming Carolina in this, and the sad part is that, like you said, him and CJ grew up being ranked against each other in the same area. The other dude in that same area that was ranked in front of both of them, CJ was third coming out of that area, which is crazy to think. And you just said CJ could possibly be the second best quarterback in the league already. CJ was third coming out of that South California area. DJU, I don't know how to say his name, from Florida State, was in front of both of them. Then it was Bryce Young, and then it was CJ Stroud. So to see how CJ is one of the best QBs in the league, Bryce looks absolutely horrible through his first 2 years, and the DJU dude's not even going to play in Canada. So to see all of them ranked in front of him is kind of crazy. Quay, what you think about the Panthers benching Bryce Young?
Now, I can't let y'all know that for my boy Bryce. Okay, if we had to switch it and Bryce was in Houston and CJ was there, they would still be terrible because they're a terrible organization. Let's go there first of all. Second of all, CJ is bigger and on film. If you watch him on TV, Bryce looks smaller than Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like a quarterback. Second of all, they may have broken him, but we know systems play so much. And that system is terrible. Why did Chuba Hubbard only get 10 carries and he's running at that rate? That makes no sense.
None.
This is terrible. Trimble is a bigger receiver. They have no really speed on it. I don't know where they're going. They're just like the New York Giants, and they're worse. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I think Bryce Young, they are throwing with Bryce Young. But what is Andy Dalton going to do? You might as well leave your number one pick out there. He's going to throw 30 picks as well. Have you seen his hair?
No,
Like, bro, we got to get away from, okay, now we're going to sit him, and now what are the Panthers going to do? Go back to the drawing board for a quarterback. Cool. But they're still going to put another quarterback that they're going to draft in a terrible situation. They have to switch up everything, bro. When it doesn't work, it just doesn't work, bro. And I think Bryce Young is going to get another opportunity somewhere else, but I do think Bryce Young is good. I think the right scheme or the right system helps him win, but everybody doesn't get the blessing of going to the right coach or the right system, bro. And I think the draft fell exactly how God wanted it to. CJ ended up where he needed to be to prove people to who he is, but I think Bryce didn't get the same opportunity with the same advantages of coaching and putting him in the right situation to win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And the main point, like you said, he didn't get the opportunities. Now, I will say this about Bryce. Yes, he's looked horrible, but this is he's only gotten 16 games. I think Jamarcus Russell got 25 games before he got benched. Like, come on, y'all. Like, you got to give this dude a little bit more time. Maybe you don't need any more time with the Panthers because nothing good is going to happen. What y'all going to do is let this dude go to one of these West Coast offense-style systems like we talked about, and y'all gonna fool around and y'all gonna see him out there. Two teams that I would like to see him on that I could see happening is him coming and being a backup and learning under Matthew Stafford in LA when we know what Sean McVay is as a play caller, and then he takes over for that Los Angeles Rams team with Sean McVay as a play caller. That's dangerous. And another team I can see him going out there and being is the next guy and being the understudy under Derek Carr in the system we just seen with New Orleans. Derek Carr's old.
Wait, Jalen, one more team.
Go ahead.
Miami.
See, I ain't thinking about that. Mike McDaniel, same style offense, same West Coast style offense. He goes out there for Mr. Noodle, like Kyrell says. He go out there for Tua. I mean, that's a whole different type of ball game.
That's Mrs. Noodle. Jalen Hurts is Mr. Noodle.
See, now before I don't even want to go into it, but I'm just wondering. I seen Dak with some horrible throw power yesterday. Why he ain't nowhere in this Noodle conversation?
No, man, he ain't in that Noodle.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like, we see. Now I know exactly. We gonna lead to that with Shador versus Quinn. But you're absolutely right, man. Like, it annoys me to no end when a quarterback throws a deep ball and the receiver has to catch it with the front of his jersey.
Like Jalen Tolbert did yesterday.
Like Jalen Tolbert did yesterday. Like Shador doing every deep ball.
Come on.
Yeah, he might not be a noodle.
Watch, bro?
Hold on.
The one that
Are you watching the other Sanders?
Yes, I'm watching the one that plays good teams, man. Not Colorado.
Oh, man, come on.
So nice, bro. I don't know what you be seeing on film.
I'm seeing him.
I be watching him make magic. I don't know.
He makes magic, bro. But I'm talking about when we translate to the league, and I watched that deep ball, bro. Dak Prescott was not a great thrower coming out of college. And when we see him in the league, it's that inconsistent. Sometimes he puts it out there, sometimes he don't.
But Shador is, though, Kyrie.
No, he's not, bro. When he throws that deep ball, them receivers are turning around to catch the ball. When Quinn Ewers throws that deep ball,
I haven't seen Jimmy Moore turn around one time, bro.
All right, so we'll talk about Quinn Ewers versus Shador in a second. Shador probably going to be the next quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. But what did you think, PJ? I'll let you wrap it up about Bryce Young getting benched for Andy Dalton and the Panthers.
It's stupid, honestly. You really can't tell me that you think that a washed-up Andy Dalton is going to go out there and play any better than what where Bryce Young has been playing. Bryce Young is possibly on the worst organization in the NFL. Anybody that is some type of good on their team, they always end up sending them away.
Facts.
He has no weapons. The few weapons that he did have, like I just said, they're not on the Panthers no more. They're somewhere else thriving. Y'all did nothing during the offseason to help the boy be able to even have enough time to go through his progressions. I don't know if y'all watched any of their games. I done watched a few. He don't even have enough time to go through his progression sometimes. This dude's already in his face. They have the worst O-line in the league. They have 0 running game. He has no receivers that can even run certain routes. Like simple routes like a post or a 10-yard dig. Some of these dudes can't even run a 5-yard hitch. These simple routes. Like, he has nobody on his team that can help him. So to me, we see organizations do this, so really shouldn't be surprised, bro. To get the heat off of their back, they'll put the blame on the player. You know what I mean? But it's really the organization. It's the coaching. I mean, and it's really more than just the coaching. It goes to the front office. Y'all are not doing anything to even help him somewhat be good in the NFL. And granted, he does make a lot of bad decisions. He does make some decisions that you're going to see a young quarterback make. He's only in his second year. So, I mean, what are y'all going to do to be able to help him? I don't think they broke him yet, but at the same time, they are messing with his confidence right now by benching him and putting Andy Dalton in, who hasn't done nothing. He ain't done nothing in the league, to be honest, since, I'm going to say the Bengals. He's had a few times, I think he was at wasn't he with us, the Cowboys, that one year? He came, he was the backup or whatever, but he hasn't done nothing in the league for a while. He's older. So to think that he's going to come in and it's going to change all of a sudden, and now the line is going to start blocking and your run game is going to work, is absurd. Like, I don't understand what would make y'all think that that's going to help. But this is just pretty much another, example of an organization that is incompetent and they're too prideful. And instead of looking in the mirror and looking at themselves and being like, okay, we're the problem. We're the ones that's not drafting right. Y'all have all the chances to draft. Why? Like, I don't get it. I don't get some of these organizations sometimes. Y'all had all the chances to get guys in the draft, get guys in the off season. You know what I mean? And then they already kind of shot themselves in the foot whenever they got Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Trading away all them picks. So you really couldn't get nobody. Honestly, not through the draft at least. But y'all don't have, it's not like y'all have somebody on your team that has a huge contract and you're not able to go out here in free agency and get somebody. And it's not like Charlotte isn't a big market. Charlotte is a big market. People want to move to Charlotte. You know what I mean? So they got everything right in front of them, but they're too prideful to, just look at themselves and be like, okay, we're the problem. What they rather go do is put all the blame on a 22, 23-year-old kid who is only in his second year in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I really don't like when organizations do that. They honestly piss me off because you really make him seem like he's trash, and the kid not trash. Like, he's not a trash quarterback. That boy won the Heisman when he was in college, bro. He won the Heisman.
Yeah. No,
he's probably going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks to come out of Alabama. Like,
he might already be the best.
Some might say he might already be the best quarterback to ever come out of Alabama. So to play on him like he's something that honestly, because I get it, and like I say, he does make a lot of mistakes. But y'all are making the mistake as a whole by taking his best receiver away from, allowing his best receiver to go to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, that don't make no sense. Y'all not doing nothing to help him help the kid confidence. His confidence was already ruined after his rookie year, bro. Last year he was getting destroyed. Like, they were sacking him. He throwing interceptions. He panicking because the pressure on him. He throwing stupid passes. You know what I mean? So it's like, do something to help the kid, man. Don't bench him. If you're going to bench him, then y'all need to go start looking for trades.
Yeah. At least while he still got some value, go look for some trades, something you can get for him. If you're going to bench him, I would try, like you said, I'd at least get some value. They need to get some of the picks back that they let go that it took for them to even go and get a Bryce Young. But I'm agreeing with you, PJ. I don't think that this dude is just completely washed. And like I said, you let him go to one of these other teams, it'll look like a whole different Bryce Young out there, I think. Now, like I said, to start it off, they got the worst owner in the league. David Tepper's horrible. He's irrational with his decision making. Sure. They've 2 coaches in 2 years. Like, you're not even giving dudes a chance. What'd you hire Frank Reich for? You hired Frank Reich, you fired him the next year. They had Matt Rule. Matt Rule came and did a completely overhaul of the offense. Of the team. You fired him. Then you bring in Frank Reich. You fire him. You get Bryce Young. You bench him after, I don't even know if the dude has played 18 games. This might have been his 18th game in the NFL. And you benching him already, knowing that everybody on your team is garbage. Let me not say everybody. Majority of your team is garbage. Deontay Johnson, I don't know why he signed to go out there, I know why he signed. They gave him a bag. But he's not terrible as a receiver, but they can't find a way to get him the ball. And they got Derrick Brown on the defensive side, and I think he's out for the year. He need to be out for the year if he's thinking about coming back. Just go and stay away. But Panthers bench Bryce Young in a very, very premature way and not giving him much time to try to develop or do anything. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this saga and what they decide to do moving forward with the Carolina Panthers, who are, after week 2, I can definitely say it, the worst team in the National Football League. So to another quick take before we go and jump back to some football. They were kind of already starting it here. Texas moves to number 1 in the AP polls after what they've done this year so far. Of course, they blow out UTSA, which they were supposed to do. Of course, they were going to blow them out. But they look like, the best team in college football right now, especially with Georgia almost losing to a Kentucky, and I think that's definitely what moved Texas above them for what they did to Michigan and how Georgia looked in some of their games as well. 52-0 in week 1, 31-12 in week 2 against Michigan, 56-7 in this one. Arch Manning gets to play because Quinn Ewers got hurt. I think he was a tibular injury. I have to go and look to see what his injury was, but he's supposedly week to week. I don't see what the week to week is. Arch Manning, I'm officially on it. I was already on the Arch Manning bandwagon, and I was saying that he's probably better than Quinn. He is for sure better than Quinn Ewers. I'm not even, man, come on. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Let's get the Manning era started. I was mad that Ewers even came back to Texas because he's messing up the Manning era, and now they're only probably going to get 1 full year of the Manning era because after that he's going to leave and go to the league. It could have been multiple if Quinn would have just went ahead and left. He didn't want to be a 7th-round pick. But I got
he good.
What'd you say?
I'm about to say we good. We good at UT. Now he because he's still considered a red shirt freshman this year. They still consider his red shirt freshman year right here.
No, you're right. You're right. It is. It is, but
Mannings don't leave early. Mannings go all the way through.
Hey man, Mannings don't make people miss on shake moves. This ain't a Manning. This is a hybrid that we're looking at right here. This is a hybrid Manning. I think we might only get 1 year with this, and then he might be out of there. But Arch Manning comes in, looks great in the game, has 5 touchdowns. Yes, it is against UTSA, so we're not big up in it like, he's just out here destroying the best team. But the dude looks good. He looks like a baller out there. 9 for 12, 223 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown where he ran it like 60-something yards, made a dude miss in the open field. He looks like a baller. He looks like a dude. Quinn Ewers, yeah, he was 14 for 16 to start the game, and it's against UTSA. But he did what Quinn Ewers always does, which is always my problem. Just a complete and total duck of a throw to the DB for UTSA, somebody that's not going to play in the CFL probably. And he just throws a horrible pass. And this be my problem because last week we was just on Shador. Man, he can't make that pass. He can't. But Quinn Ewers does it like every 2 games. He makes one of those passes. We're not going to act like Shador didn't throw for only 3 picks last year. And Quinn Ewers do this like every 2 games. He's going to throw a complete and absolute duck. Not saying Quinn Ewers is sorry, but obviously to the point that you guys were just arguing in the Shador versus Quinn Ewers argument that we seem to have every Monday. But first, I want to get y'all's opinion. Is Arch Manning the better quarterback at Texas? And then y'all can take off on the Quinn Ewers and Shador thing. Crowell, I'll go ahead and start with you on this. Is Arch the best quarterback out there at the Texas Longhorns?
Arch Manning is the best quarterback, and really all the top quarterbacks are freshmen to me. Like Nico down there in Tennessee.
He's a dog.
Them dudes had 65 at halftime. I know they played some, what was it? Was it Kentucky State?
Man, it don't even matter.
I don't care.
He's a dog.
65 at halftime is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arch Manning is better than Quinn Ewers. You know, I'm not too hype on this upcoming class. Like, it's led by, without Shador. I'm not gonna say without Shador, but really the leading guy with Shador being meant to prove himself some more, I guess, was Carson Beck. And then nobody liked that guy. So it's just like this class isn't super great, but I'm taking Quinn Ewers over Shador. I just don't. I just don't. I'm not saying it's about like I don't want to be disrespectful, but I just think he's going to be better in the league than Shador. Arch Manning, just to stay on him, man. How lucky, bro. Your uncles are Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, and then you the son of the fast brother.
Yeah.
Boy, when he took off, I was like, man, nah, bro. Y'all gotta be joking, bro. Like, y'all, this is somebody pushing the button at Buffalo Wild Wings or something. Ain't no way I'm watching this dude run like this. But he put that move on dude and then walked people, like, just walked away from him.
Yeah.
I said, okay, yeah, that's different. That arm different and them legs different, man. He gonna be that number one pick. I mean, depending on how the rest of these freshmen progress, but Arch Manning looked like him. And I didn't see it in high school, honestly. I thought he was playing, private school kids, I was like, man, whatever, bro. This is what they call it, empty calories, bro. Yeah. I'm not buying it. But yeah, man, he's like that. And Isaiah Bond, man, that's the player.
Yeah.
Like, that dude got wheels. Yeah. Texas may be the best team in college football. I think Ohio State won't have something to say about it,
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be something to watch, man. These two teams, like, they seem like they got the most electric players. Jeremiah Smith and Arch Manning, Isaiah Bond. I hope Quinn Ewers don't come back. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch him really no more. He should have went to the league last year just for my sake, but I know like you said, he didn't want to go in the 7th round. But yeah, man, I don't think he might not get this job back, depending on how Arch look. Now we got to pump the brakes on how he looked though, because it was UTSA and they was busting coverages left and right. That was crazy. Like all the accounts. Oh, he's dropping dimes. Man, ain't nobody around this.
Nobody was around.
What y'all talking about? That's why I think who's running these social media accounts? They can't be football watchers or no ball at all in any shape or form because they talking about dimes. And I'm talking about, man, they out there, look, them things look like punts. So, yeah, man. Arch Manning, the truth, though.
No, I'm definitely agreeing with you. I would, like I said already, I would have rather seen Arch in there than Quinn anyway. But, Coy, where's your stance on this Arch Manning thing? Is he the better quarterback here at Texas?
Bro, I can listen to Kyrell do a whole stint of nothing. First of all, we knew, like I said last week, Quinn Ewers is not better than him. He's the better quarterback. We watched him even in the few minutes that he did be a better quarterback. But because everybody Quinn Ewers don't just lose games. He's a game manager. Last year, if he would have went to the draft, that's the reason he came back to Texas. He would have been a 7th rounder. He knew it.
Facts.
He's going to lose his job now, and he's going to drop in the draft again. And he's not probably going to play in the NFL. I never thought he was an NFL talent. I think he's surrounded by some of the best talent. I think they have the best offensive line and defensive line in the country. I think they have good DBs all over the field. I think this is a good, complete Texas team that we haven't seen in a long time. I do think they're the best team in the country, and I do think Arch Manning is the real deal. I don't think Quinn Ewers is better than Shador at anything, but truth be told, like I said, if you're going to be a seventh rounder last year, you just lost your quarterback spot. What are we really talking about? I haven't heard one report of him ever being the number one pick at quarterback. So
No.
Okay, I ain't know we was finna talk about Shador Quinn.
Hold on, I'm gonna let PJ go on the Arch Manning thing. I'll come back to you, Kyrell. PJ, go ahead with the who's the better quarterback at Texas, Arch Manning or Quinn Ewers?
Okay, I'm gonna say this because I'll be in a lot of the Longhorn chats and stuff. Like I'll be on a lot of the Texas Longhorn chats that's on YouTube and everything. It's really not. And Steve Sarkisian even came out, and this is really why I like Sarkisian a lot. It's not a QB battle over in Austin right now. It's really not. They know who their starter is, and everyone, including Arch, respects that this year at least is a Quinn Ewers-led team. But they're going to need Arch, and that's the reason why they built this team the way they built it. It's the reason why I always say that I feel like we're the deepest team in the country at every position, because we can lose somebody and we can put somebody else in and we won't skip a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think that Arch, overall, he is the better natural quarterback. He better have been. He got two great quarterbacks as uncles. One of his uncles is pretty much, I mean, for me growing up, he was like the greatest quarterback for me. Is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Your granddad is Archie Manning. Was one of the first dual threat quarterbacks ever.
Yep.
And your dad would have been a Division I athlete at receiver if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. So, I mean, the guy has a lot. He has a lot going for him. So yes, of course, he's the better. Naturally he's the better quarterback for sure. But the thing that he doesn't have that Quinn does have, and that is the experience. Quinn has the experience in playing in those big games, like going to Alabama, beating them on the road, beating Michigan on the road, playing in different games, that he doesn't have. He don't got that experience yet. And I'm not saying that he can't do it either, because I feel like we can play him against Oklahoma in a few weeks and we'll still come out with the win. I'm that confident in Arch. I'm very excited about what we're going to see from Arch. But as of right now, Quinn is the starter. Steve Sarkisian came out and said that there's no QB battle in Austin right now. Of course, people are going to, stir that up a little bit, just because it doesn't help that Arch come out and have 5 touchdowns. You know what I mean? That don't help. So, like I say, this is the deepest team in the nation. They're the deepest team in the nation. Outside of guys like Isaiah Bunn, Jonte Cook, they got a freshman right now in Ryan Wingo, who is ridiculous. Wingo is ridiculous.
I agree. And they're loaded.
It's still guys that don't even. It's still guys that ain't even been touching the ball like that. And then they down to what, 2 scholarship running backs right now, and Trey and Jared Gibson, and they toting the rock.
Yeah.
You don't even really see a difference in either whenever they're in the game. The O-line getting pushed. The D-line is crazy. Like, this is a deep team, and they got some of the best coaches. Steve Sarkisian is one of the best coaches in college football.
Fact.
So the sky's the limit for this Longhorn. I do think that he is. I agree with y'all. Arch is the best quarterback to me, better quarterback to me on the team, but he just doesn't have the experience. Now, I can't take anything away from Quinn, because Quinn, as of right now, still is number 1 in the Heisman ballot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
And then too, I do.
Go ahead.
I think he's better. I think he's better. And that's only my preference. You know what I mean? I think he is better than Shador, but like I say, it's not far at all. Like there's weeks that Shador is going to be better. There's weeks that he's going to be better. It's all about their matchups and who they're facing. I feel like that as far as when it comes to like the deep ball and like being accurate on the deep ball, I feel like he probably got Shador on that, but Shador has better footwork. And that's not to take away from Quinn and say he doesn't, because Quinn has really good footwork as well. It's just they both kind of are better at certain things than the other. You know what I mean? So it's not that far of a drop off between both of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to your point about Quinn having the experience, that's definitely, and it's not a QB battle like you're saying. It's not a QB battle. That's just what I want to see. But Quinn Ewers is for sure the starter for Texas. Like you said, he's got the experience. And Steve Sarkisian not about to start a battle between a senior and a freshman. Like that's not what's going to happen. Steve Sarkisian's too good of a coach for that. He's not going to fall for that. And I'll let you go ahead, Kyrell, and respond to Quay about y'all's point about Quinn versus Shador and what you was about to say before I cut you off.
Yeah, man. Look, I don't want to make it seem like I just think Quinn is head and shoulders above Shador, but I do think he is better. Like when I think about what they're going to have in the league and the discrepancy in talent that they play against, to me at least, and just the way he throws the ball. Not Sam Darnold, but Quinn Ewers is kind of like, to me, in that Sam Darnold build. Like, he may not be as polished because he does a lot of unorthodox stuff, sidearm throws and things like that. And he's going to throw a duck out there. But I don't think it's no question who has more arm talent. And it's just like Sam Darnold coming out. This dude was terrible. Couldn't win it. Like, the USC was losing left and right. But that arm talent was there. So when I look at Quinn, I'm just purely grading off talent. Well, I don't want to talk about leadership because that's going to bring up a whole nother conversation of what you like. And I don't like the way people jump on Shador about how he go about his thing. Even though you got to say the right things, But at the end of the day, you got to play your game.
Yeah.
But Quinn has that arm talent to me. And I know Shador, for me, it's tough to evaluate Shador, man, because I watch him throw the deep ball. And I watch these receivers have to turn around and catch it or come back to the ball just like that yesterday. But is that a function of him not being able to throw the ball? Or is it just him being hit so much? I don't know. But I do see Quinn hit these dudes in stride for the last 2 years. And that to me, that's the difference between a touchdown and a big play. We saw it yesterday. If you can hit choke receiver in stride and allow him to keep running, that's the difference right there in a touchdown or field goal, and that's so important to me. And like I said, man, I'm not big on this class regardless. I don't think there's no superstars in this class. Ain't no CJ Stroud here, unless one of these dudes fall to what it looks like a Shanahan tree. But yeah, man, I'm just slightly more impressed with Quinn's arm talent at this time. But you're right. PJ hit it right on the nose. Footwork-wise, Shador is killing because he's polished. You can see that training with time. But I see Aaron Rodgers' arm talent in Quinn Ewers.
Whoa.
I don't really see. I'm just talking about talent, like ability to throw the ball. Aaron Rodgers is polished and has arm talent. But just the ability to fling it with like minimum motion of the arm, that's Quinn. When I see just footwork and ability to just kind of hang in the pocket, and I know he just wants to make a play, that's Shador. He's polished. But I also see him like he doesn't even a little bit on the bone. And I don't know who's going to be better. But if I'm putting my money down, I'm taking Quinn.
Okay, so I'm not even going to respond. I'm going to let you go in a second, Quay. I'm not going to respond to the Aaron Rodgers thing because that's just blasphemy. Aaron Rodgers might have the best arm we ever seen in the NFL ever. So I'm not even going to respond to that. But to your point about Quinn and the big games and you said the lack of competition that he played, you do realize that the Pac-12 was better than the Big 12 last year. So I don't know what we're talking about with the lack of They've been in the SEC for 3 games. They haven't been in the SEC for 10 years or nothing like that. They've been in the SEC for 10 games. Shador played against the better competition last year. The Big 12 was horrible last year. The Big 12 was terrible last year. Bro, the Big 12.
Are we serious?
Are you serious? The Big 12 was horrible. That was like the worst year of Big 12 football I've watched since I've been to Big 12.
Right? We saw Shador play Washington.
Yes.
We saw Quinn play Washington. Who looked better?
Whose team was bad? What? Whose team was bad? What are you? That is a completely different argument. The team comparison is like Shador playing with us out there and somebody else playing on the Patriots. That's the team comparison. They had the worst roster in the NCAA last year. And Quinn Ewers had multiple he had Adonis Mitchell and Xavier Worthy out there with the first running back off the board last year and Jonathan Brooks. So that's one. I don't know what this thing about the talent that he played against is coming. The Big 12 had one of the worst years the Big 12 has had since I've been a fan of the Big 12.
Okay, Jay, we saw him play Alabama. We saw him throw the ball against Alabama.
Yes.
That's the most NFL-ready team, but outside Ohio State, you're going to play. So I get them other games was washed. But the Pac-12, we're not going to hype up the Pac-12, man.
Why couldn't Quinn beat him? He lost to the Pac-12.
Okay, but he still scored points. Shador didn't score any.
Because look, he's throwing to first round talent. Everybody on that team.
Heisman winner. He has the real Heisman player on his team.
Who?
He's Travis.
First of all, Travis was coming off of an injury. Second, Travis is one guy. He's got multiple. Jatavius Sanders went in the top 3 round. Jonathan Brooks went in the top 3 round. Adonis Mitchell went in the top 3 round. Xavier Worthy was a first-round pick. They had linemen get drafted out of that. Like, it's a completely different scenario. Corey, I'll let you go ahead and respond, though, before we go to break.
First of all, don't ever bring up Aaron Rodgers and Quinn Ewers ever again.
Ever.
First, bro, Quinn Ewers is not good. Bro, if he's so great, why did he not come out last year? He's going to, bro, if he was so great this year and coming back, why is he still not projected the number 1 pick or the number 1 quarterback coming off the board? And he might lose his spot. What I'm saying about this so great, if you switch the two teams, Colorado might not have won a game last year with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. I don't see this great, crazy arm talent that y'all see either. He plays with a great talent on the side of him. He does his job. He's just a game manager. I think just like Carson Beck, just like the quarterback that was at Georgia before Carson Beck, they are a team. They play on great teams. When they get to the NFL, where they have to rely on their talent, they're not good. We're not gonna be talking about Quinn Ewers next year at all. He's not gonna play for anyone. He's gonna play in the first 3 games of the preseason, and that's it. He's not going to play for it. He's not a good quarterback. That's just me personally. I don't see this good. When I watch him, I think he plays around a lot of great talent. Nothing pops off the screen like he does great. Even watching Arch, he looks like he's supposed to be there. I don't see that with Quinn. Just like Jalen said, he throws some of those ducks. I don't like it. Just be like, why? And you didn't have to make that throw. You throwing terrible against terrible teams. I don't see that great talent that y'all see out of Quinn. I think he just played with a bunch of great talent. He's a product of being in Texas. But like I said, what are we finna see next? We finna see what he gonna do in the NFL. I have no faith in it. But is he better than Carson Beck? And is Carson Beck gonna be a good NFL player? No, I don't see it for him either. So that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like Kyrie. I'm down on the talent at the quarterback position coming out this year anyway, just because. There's, like you said, no true stars. If anybody's a star, it would be Shador, but that has more to do with off the field stuff too, because there's just nothing. Nobody out here is just
Cam
like.
Ward?
Nah, man, I think Cam Ward looks good. A star? Nah, I don't. That not me personally from Cam Ward, because I watch a lot of football and I've been watching Cam Ward. I knew he was good, but him coming in and dominating with Miami these first couple weeks, he does look really good, and he's probably the top out of all of them right now, if you're just talking about who's dominating right now. But the best quarterback in the nation is dude from Tennessee for sure, because that's just ridiculous, and he's a freshman, so that's crazy to see. But it's left to be determined about these 2 quarterbacks, and I'm sure we'll keep having this pretty much every week after one of them do something. Well, maybe not anymore with Quinn. He got to get his spot back, but we'll probably keep having this debate.
He got abdominal.
What'd you say?
He got an abdominal strain, so that's kind of light. He's gonna be back. He'll be back in a few weeks.
They need to sit him.
I'm thinking what they're gonna do. They got UL Monroe. After UL Monroe, they got Mississippi State, who is one of the worst teams in college football. They're terrible. And then they got a bye week. Then you got OU. So they might honestly just sit them until the OU game, or if you feel really confident going into this OU game after watching what Tennessee probably about to do to them this Saturday, then you might feel comfortable just keeping Arch out there, and you know what I'm saying, just seeing if he can go out there and win the game for you against OU, and then have Quinn come back for the Georgia game the following week.
Oh yeah. Now I definitely think that should be their plan. I don't think they should try to rush him out there, especially with an abdominal strain. It's not like it's going to just get better from him playing football anyway. So they probably need to sit him for a couple weeks. Let Arch go out there and do what Arch going to do while they're playing UL in Monroe and Mississippi State, who you said is terrible, and they are terrible. So let him play a couple games. Let Quinn rest up so we can get back to having this debate with Shador versus Quinn. Folks, we're going to take a very, very short break and come back to close out the show. We're going to talk about the surprises and what we thought about some of the things in week number 2. You're watching Centex Primetime right here on Affinity Sports Radio and Centex Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
And welcome back into Centex Primetime. I am your host, Jalen Gillis. I'm here joined with Kyrell Gibson, Quay, and PJ on here as well as we're going through some of these games around the National Football League. We got a chance to talk about some of the hot topics in there, but one topic that I wanted to get to before we got off of here is what is going on with the Baltimore Ravens, man. The 0-2, they lost the game against Kansas City, and after that, we kind of all gave them a pass. You know, we said that, it's Kansas City. Kansas City is a tough team to beat, especially at home, all that kind of stuff, yada, yada, yada. It's a new team that Lamar's out here with. But you come out again and you lose to the Las Vegas Raiders, who aren't good at all. The one thing I will give them, two things I give them. One, I really do like Antonio Pierce as a head coach. He proved that last year when he came in, took over as an interim coach, and was able to come out and win games. But second thing I like is they finally threw the ball to Devontae Adams. It's almost like if you throw the ball to possibly still, in my opinion, the best receiver in the league. If not the best, he's definitely still in the top 5. He just doesn't get the ball. For sure, the best route runner in the league. I don't even think that's close. They finally give him the ball, 9 catches, 110 yards. But the most important thing is 12 targets. He had 110 yards and a touchdown as the Las Vegas Raiders were able to come up with a win over Baltimore. Now, there's a lot of things I don't like about this Baltimore offense, a lot of things I don't like about their play call and their decision-making, but I got to be fair and I got to be honest. Lamar got to play better, man. Lamar has got to play better. He's got to get in there with his coach. This is going to be your coach, so you might as well get in there with him and try to figure out what to do, what can y'all come up with, what plays do you like, all of that kind of stuff. 21 for 34 yesterday, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Derrick Henry did get the ball more, 18 carries, he had 84 yards. Zay Flowers led the team with 91 receiving yards and a touchdown. This offense has got to get it together, man. This offense has got to get it together. I don't know how the defense gave up 26 points to Mr. Mustache and Gardner Minshew. It's just not making sense to me. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore. I am really shocked by this. And this is going to be a huge game coming in next week as they take on Dallas. Two teams trying to bounce back. Dallas trying to bounce back from getting embarrassed. And the Ravens trying to get a win. They don't have a win. Going into week 3, this is perennially one of the best coached teams in the league. And I don't think it looks like that anymore. PJ, I'll start with you. What is going on with the Baltimore Ravens? Yesterday they lose 26-23 to the Raiders.
I don't know, man. I really don't know what's wrong with them right now. Lamar do got to play better, but I think just overall the team, the offensive coordinator got to do a lot better. I don't like how he called the game at all. Really, the first 2 weeks, honestly, I don't like how he called the game. He kind of one of the reasons why they're 0-2. With Lamar, man, you're not supposed to get outplayed by Gardner Minshew. That is unacceptable. Gardner Minshew went for 30. He went 30 for 38, 276 passing yards. I don't understand how you get outplayed by him. And then then the defense, I don't know what they were doing. Devontae had, I mean, it's Devontae, so he's going to get his. But then Brock Bowers, the rookie, had 9 receptions, 98 yards. So they just all around just got to do a lot better defensively and offensively, coaching. And Lamar he got to step it up, man. You got to step it up.
No, definitely. He's got to play better. I don't know what's going on over there. Quay, what do you think about this? Baltimore losing to Las Vegas yesterday.
I'm actually going to go with what Tyrell said last week. I think the Chiefs thing is messing with Lamar's mind, and it has us looking at Harbaugh a little different. I think they are undercoaching their talent, and I think they don't know exactly what to do with their scheme. I think they don't exactly know how to get Derrick Henry to his full production and add it with Lamar's game. I think they overcrowded their backfield. But they're struggling right now, and even with coming, this is a big game for them and the Cowboys because one of them got to come out on top, and then we might be watching the downfall of the Ravens.
No, that's a point that I don't like to bring up because I like Lamar, but you might not be lying right there, especially with I think John Harbaugh's seat is a little bit hotter than what people are thinking. I know he's the longest 10-year coach in the league, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But if some change doesn't start happening around there soon, they're going to start making some changes in personnel. Kyrie, what do you think about Baltimore losing the Ravens yesterday? Or the Raiders yesterday, my bad.
Yeah, man. I think this is a Lamar thing, man. I really do. Let me not put it all in. It's a combination of Harbaugh, OC, and Lamar. They don't know how to make him tick, man. Like the plays they call in, I don't know. Like this is really telling you what they think of Lamar. Like it's the same thing we saw last week. And once they started getting in these third and longs, I don't know about y'all, man, but when I watch the Ravens, it don't feel like they actually like getting like route work. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like all their routes is rounded, and if they actually are going downfield, they're throwing little college, bubbles and stuff, just like last week. And Derrick Henry did get the ball, but I'm not quite sure how to make Lamar play a winning offense. We know how to I'm talking like playoffs, right? Or tough games. Even like at the end of the game, it's 2-minute drive or what, I can't remember how much time was on the clock, but Lamar takes off like 50 yards. Cool. That's his secret weapon. But I feel like that's what they've been relying on. Lamar, 4 yards here, 4 yards there, 3-yard completion. 12-yard completion over the middle. But we have yet to see him just like dice people up, man, like down the field. And I don't think it's because of Lamar. I think he needs a Shanahan.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Man.
And that's not who they got right now. And I don't know, man. I don't think that you can run. I just don't know, man. He's been in the league so long and he's won so many awards. It's difficult to say that these offenses can't work with Lamar, but there has to be something there. It's too much talent in that player to not figure something out. Because everybody's going to talk about the Cowboys, man, but that was the worst loss yesterday to me.
That was a bad loss.
Should have beaten that team. The Saints may well be better than us. They definitely are. I don't think the Raiders are better than the Ravens.
No.
They shouldn't be. They definitely don't got the talent on paper. and this is the number 1 seed from last year. The number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And you go out there and lose to Gardner Minshew and Antonio Pierce. I don't know if this is second year or first year, but
first full year.
This is first. Yeah. So that was a major disappointment, man. Everybody sees on fire. I know they're not gonna give up on Lamar, but you know which way I'm pushing, man. I don't want to see Bryce Young in Miami. I want to see Lamar go.
So. Well, they better not ever let that happen. Let him get back home and get to Miami.
I called it, bro.
Yeah, you did say that. You said that a minute ago. But they better not let him get back in there with Miami or just, like you said, any of these Shanahan disciples. I think it's more of I don't think he's ever had a real offensive coordinator since he's been in the league. He had Greg Roman, who was pretty much the last guy in the league running a wing T offense almost. And then he's got Todd Monken right now, who came from Georgia. And I don't understand why they hired him at all, but that's another debate for another day. Folks, before we get out of here, I want to get everybody's opinion real quick on the game tonight. Philadelphia 1-0, taking on the Atlanta Falcons and Mr. Kirk Cousins as they come into this game here today. Philadelphia, a 5.5-point favorite. Kirk Cousins didn't look too healthy in that Week 1 game that they lost. Now coming back trying to redeem himself on Monday Night Football. We know Falcons have got plenty of weapons. Philly's got plenty of weapons out here with the original Mr. Noodle that Kyrell talked about. And I'll come right back to Kyrell. We'll go around quick. We're running out of time here. But who do y'all got in this game? I got Philly winning this one pretty easily. Kyrell, who you got?
The Eagles with a caveat. If Michael Penix take over the game, over the QB position before halftime, the Falcons will win. But I'm taking the Eagles if Kirk Cousins play.
You know he ain't finna come out there and play. Mr. Kirk is going to play. They paying that man $180 million. Quay, who you got in this game? Falcons and Eagles game tonight.
Eagles, and if Michael Penix play, they're going to lose by 35.
No, for real. Man, they're not playing Michael Penix. It is Week 2. The NFL is a business. These dudes make way too much money. And the number 1 money maker in the league over the last decade is Kirk Cousins. So he's going to get out there.
He's not even ready, bro.
He's not. He's not ready at all. He's not healthy. And I think that's more of what it is. I think they're taking for granted how some of these guys have looked over the last couple of years coming back from their Achilles injury. Kirk Cousins ain't ready. He ain't one of them. He ain't one of them dudes yet that can come back quick after an injury like that. PJ, thoughts about this game tonight, Philadelphia versus Atlanta? Who you got?
I got the Eagles, man. I think it's going to be easy for them. I don't see Atlanta really putting up a fight.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tough. They got so many weapons, you just expect them to come out and be able to do something. I like Raheem Morris, the coach, but he's a defensive guy, not an offensive guy. So the offense has left a lot to be desired in this one. So we'll see that game tonight, folks. That is at 7:15 Monday Night Football coming on in just a few minutes. So I hope everybody's getting ready for that. I want to thank everybody for watching with us today here on Centex Primetime. We've got a lot to talk about throughout this week. As you see, we didn't get to a lot of the games, so I'll have the fellas back on multiple days throughout the week as we get a chance to go through these NFL games. Once again, thank everybody for watching. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube, Centex Sports Network and Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Also, you can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us Facebook. We'll be live there every day or weekdays, 5 to 7 at Centex Sports Network. If you want to listen to this content and you're not listening with us on Infinity Sports Radio Central Texas, you can go to CentexSports1.com or you can go to the app Centex Sports 1 on the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store as well. Want to thank everybody once again for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 to 7 p.m. like we are every single weekday. We will see you guys then and have a good evening. Watch the Monday night game. We'll come back and talk about it tomorrow. Good night.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and